What's up, authors and designers, small publishers? Matt Stone from 100 Covers. You guys know I'm normally all about Dim's book covers, but for those of you who know me, I've been around the publishing industry for a long time. I've seen a lot of things, published a lot of books on my own, and I want to talk about, just give you guys an inside look of what I call a tale of two launches. So this is two books that were launched 2 days apart earlier in the month of January. I'm recording this January 31st. One book was launched January 12th, the other January 14th, with two totally different launch styles, and there's something to be learned from this launch, and I think you guys will find this really interesting. So, one book launch, the person decided to launch it at $9.99 in Kindle, full price for the paperback, which was listed over $22, and a bunch of different people promoted. And this author was kind enough to share all the data with everyone who participated in the launch. And you can see here all the different sales that came in from all the different people that he managed to recruit to promote his book at launch. I was one of those people. I sold a total of 5 books. I'm one of these two here. And, it was a really interesting experience. So, what I got to see in the inside look I got is the other book. I promoted this other book in the exact same email. So, it was an email I went out and promoted, and I said, hey, these two books are great. One is 99 cents, the other one is at full price $9.99. This one that was $9.99, I only managed to sell 5 copies to my entire email list. 99-cent copies of the other book, I was able to sell 201, okay? 201 copies compared to 5. And total sales of all these combined was a sum of 126, as you can see there on the spreadsheet if you've got good vision. Okay, let me show you the books that I'm talking about here. Okay, this book was launched by my buddy Jesse Tevelo and his service for book launching. Okay, he's got a great service. They did everything right, and they teed this up and destroyed it. And the book cover has been amended to show that it's a Wall Street Journal bestseller now. Okay, it made the top 10 of all ebooks on the Wall Street Journal list, and it actually peaked well into the top 100 of all the books in the Kindle market. I saw it as high as like 20, I believe. So this book, they probably moved at least 10,000, if not 20,000 copies of this book in the first week or so, all at 99 cents. And it was just all the rage. Now, as you guys know, if you've published a book before, that's a common strategy. Launch it cheap, get a bunch of reviews, get a bunch of downloads, get as high in the rankings as you can possibly get, and then you put the price at where it's going to live, and see how it does. Amazon, he's got the digital list price. Amazon's offering a $2 coupon on it basically right now, running a little sale. But if we scroll down, the Kindle version of the book is ranking, and pay very close attention to this, it's ranking about 6,000. It's ranking about 6,000 with that $9.99 price tag with a $2 coupon. Okay, got to check the hardcover too. A lot of self-publishers have been ignoring the hardcover and paperback versions for a long time, thinking that ebooks were going to take over. Well, they haven't taken over. There's been a huge surge in the sales of physical books. So this one's ranking 28,000. So 6,000 in Kindle, 28,000 in the physical store, and you can see the price there. So this other guy with his 126 copies that everyone sold compared to this one that was, 10,000 plus. Okay, I don't have the exact figures, but I know it's at least 10,000. You would think that this book, a week to 10 days after, I guess the first push was about, I guess ended about 10 days ago. So let's call this 10 days post launch, okay? 10 days post launch, that's where it's ranking. And if we go over to this comparison book here, I gave away the, hopefully you didn't see that. I wanted to reveal that a little bit later. But here's the book. It was downloaded a lot less. You can see it has far fewer reviews. Okay. The book cover is decent, but I would say that this book cover is stronger for sure. Right. And it's got the, USA Today bestseller tag on it. Everything about that looks slick and sharp. So we're not comparing apples to apples here. You see this book is $9.99 in Kindle. It was never discounted. All the people who chipped in to promote it managed to contribute 126 copies. Ayo, the author, who's a really cool dude and a buddy of mine that we've communicated with for like 5 years now. That's a guesstimate. my guesstimates are always a little bit off. I seem to be underestimating time lately. I think that's a sign of aging. But Ayo is the man, and he has done a really good job with this book. And he probably was able to move several copies himself. He has an audience, so I don't know if he was able to sell 100, 200, 300 books to his own audience. I really just don't know the size of his audience, but I'm guessing that it's not a huge audience. Again, only 25 reviews here in the first 3 weeks that it's been out. So how is this ranking compared to the one that was Wall Street Journal bestseller, sold over 10,000, made it to the top 20 in all of the Kindle store? It's selling better. It's actually selling better. So selling fewer copies and fewer reviews with a not as snazzy book cover, right? All three of those combined. And this one's actually selling better. Let's look at the paperback. The paperback, because the Kindle was never discounted, there's more people opting for the physical copy, and the physical copy is outselling the other book by quite a large margin. This one's at 15,000 basically, the other one at 28,000. Okay? And this came out a little bit early so that he could send out physical copies to people. So that's a tale of two different launches. Now, why in the world would this book be outselling the other book? Why would that be? Well, I think it really provides a key insight into Amazon's algorithm, right? They don't like to see sales falling at any point. They never want to see your book selling more the day before than it's selling today. So when you sell a bunch in a short period of time and it peaks really hard and it's got only one way to go, which is down, that's gonna get picked up and detected. Now, I also think the algorithm is going to favor a sale at full price way more than a sale at 99 cents. So I think these 99-cent sales that people are getting may almost be counting against them in some regard, because when you jack the price back up, all of a sudden the conversion rate drops, the total number of sales just plummets, and I think that's probably hurting. Now, it's too early to say how these books are going to be selling a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Nobody knows that. I have a feeling that the other book, the Megatrends book, will probably eventually outsell this book, just based on the overall picture of everything that we're looking at here. But I think there's a valuable lesson here about selling at full price, and also about not having a huge peak and a huge burst. I don't think Amazon views that favorably. I think you're better off selling 20 a day every day than selling 2,000 one day followed by 20 a day. Or even 50 a day, because it's a huge drop off. They're not going to like to see that. So that's my interpretation of it. Share your interpretation below. Hopefully I'll post this video and let Ayo know about it. Maybe we'll get him in the comments kind of talking about it a little bit, as well as Jesse, who I'm sure has a real vested interest, being a book launch service guy. He has a big vested interest in helping his clients get the best results possible, and he probably has some insights and observations to share about the launch process as well. But I think this could make for a really interesting discussion, and it's a really interesting insight. It's a head scratcher. It really makes you think, and may have an outcome, on how you decide to go about doing your own launch. Anyway, that's it for me today. Matt Stone of 100 Covers. Catch you later.